Good afternoon, I am William Theo and this is PTV News Now. Tops on our news this afternoon, an Iloilo Dam project is the latest government-inaugurated infrastructure with the dual purpose of boosting rice production and providing hydroelectric power. Earlier today, the President led the official launch of the Jalaur River Multi-purpose Phase 2 project that is all set to irrigate vast tracts of rice lands and provide electricity not only to Iloilo but to the entire Panay Island, to include the provinces of Antique, Capiz, and Aklan. The JRMP2 is the first large-scale water reservoir off the Luzon mainland that provides bulk water supply, irrigation services, and much-needed power to expand electrification in the remote villages or locations in the 4 provinces that make up Panay Island. The irrigable area alone has been expanded to 9,500 hectares, with at least 25,000 farmers reaping the benefits of sustained and reliable irrigation to boost rice and crop production. In addition, the President said some 86 million liters from the high reservoir dam would be tapped out to fill the industrial and bulk water requirements of Iloilo City and its surrounding towns. Then again, the JRMP2 project is expected to generate 6.6 megawatts of electricity to supplement the existing power supply in Panay Island.
This should boost further the development in the agricultural sector as well as the local economy of the entire region. In fact, it is estimated to help increase annual rice production in Region 6 by 160,000 metric tons, which is almost 20% of the region's annual rice requirement. With all these, the JRMP2 truly deserves its label Katuwang sa Kauswagan, or Partner in Progress. Let this project serve as a inspiration for all endeavors of this scale and of this magnitude.
All those scheduled to appear on Friday to punctuate the week-long Republican National Convention, former President Donald Trump showed up on day 1 of the convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to galvanize his supporters less than 60 hours since he miraculously escaped an assassin's bullet in a stump rally in Bethel, Pennsylvania. With his right ear bandaged after being grazed by a bullet of an AR-15 assault rifle, the front-running candidate in November's polls looked subdued, reassured, and with an aura of serene satisfaction as he came into view inside the arena to the cheers and applause of thousands in attendance. Before he proceeded to the convention site, the former president ended all speculations on his running mate by naming Ohio Senator J.D. Vance earlier in the day to complete the other half of the GOP presidential ticket. With his miraculous escape and his camp and supporters touting him as the stronger candidate fit to lead the nation, President Donald J. Trump has catapulted himself as the prohibitive favorite to win by a landslide in his attempted return to the White House. The odds and nearly tragic events of the weekend has re-energized former President Donald Trump to pursue a path of nation unification, even as the sitting president already called on both political parties to tone down the heated rhetoric. VOA's Anita Powell reports on the Biden campaign heading out on the trail tomorrow, while Trump preps himself and the GOP on day 2 of the Republican National Convention.
The stark differences between the 2 main presidential campaigns were further illuminated Monday, with heated, energetic scenes.
Don't like Trump? So what? We don't care.
As Republicans nominated Donald Trump at their convention in Milwaukee.
Greatest president that's ever lived, and that's Donald J. Trump.
And from the Democrat-run White House, cool reserve from President Joe Biden, who has urged the nation to bring down the temperature on political rhetoric after the shocking weekend assassination attempt on Trump. On Monday, he told NBC's Lester Holt that he still deeply disagrees with Trump and with the inflammatory and vicious way Trump and his base communicate grievances. And asked whether he thought the shooting would change the trajectory of the presidential race.
I don't know, and you don't know either.
But it seems to have resolved the last political cliffhanger, the national debate over whether Biden's poor debate performance meant he should step aside.
I expect that Joe Biden has weathered the storm, and this question about whether he should drop out is mostly in the rearview mirror, but he needs to perform well.
Trump on Monday made his post-shooting debut to a thunderous reception and a crowd that shouted, "Fight, fight, fight." Biden also criticized Trump in the interview.
Look, I'm not the guy that said, I want to be a dictator on day one. I'm not the guy that refused to accept the outcome of the election. I'm not the guy who said that won't accept the outcome of this election.
Both men have called for unity in the wake of Trump's shooting. But analysts say that word may not mean what you think it means.
They're both calling for unity, but I think their differences in the kind of concept are fundamental. And that's where I think the problem is going to break down. And so they're calling for it, but in fact, it may well be partisanship in disguise.
So what happens now as these two grandfathers sprint to the end of a contest so grueling, so bitter, so emotionally charged, and so consequential, and yet with such a tiny margin of victory? I don't know. And neither do you. Anita Powell, VOA News, the White House.
And that's all for this afternoon newsbreaker. Join us anew later on for the evening stories. Until then, this is William Theo. Thank you for watching PTV News Now.